Welcome to the Business Therapy Show. Stay tuned. We have an amazing guest who is a transformational youth speaker. Stay tuned.
With over 17 years of experience as an entrepreneur, Brandon Powell knows what it feels like to struggle while navigating the market. Likewise, whether you have just started your company or been dominating your industry for over 15 years, we all have needed clarity and inspiration. Regardless of your industry, profession, or service, the Business Therapy Show was created to showcase your journey. You have a story to tell. We are excited to discover how you have navigated the market, overcome roadblocks, and gain business clarity during moments of darkness. Welcome to the Business Therapy Show.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. I have an amazing guest on the show. Just for those that have not watched the show before, I'll explain what this is about. The Business Therapy Show is about, for me, navigating through darkness, which means lack of clarity. And I've experienced it personally, also in business. And so I love inviting people on the show who are entrepreneurs, who have navigated it, those moments of clarity where you had to, almost, build it while you're flying it, so to speak. And you've been doing that well. Even if you had a baby in your arm and you're on Zoom meetings, you were making it happen. And so we're most certainly honored to have Miss Saran Sanchez with us today. So I know you're a little nervous. I'm gonna ask you though, out of formality, how are you feeling?
I feel excited.
It's okay to tell me you're nervous though. So.
A speaker is not supposed to say they're nervous.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
But I'm very nervous.
Thank you. Thank you. See, confession is good for the soul.
It is.
So good for the soul. This will be very conversational. You have the support of a live studio audience here today.
Hey.
There's no way for you guys to verify this, but you don't know behind these cameras, there's thousands of people in the audience, all here to support Miss Saran. So I'm going to jump right into it. I want to ask you some questions, some of which I already know the answers to, but for the audience and those that will be watching, let's walk through a few things. So who is Saran Sanchez, and what has been the most exciting part of your professional journey?
Who is Saran? I am a Jesus girl, first and foremost, a country Jesus girl. I grew up on land. I grew up in the country. I love that. And my faith is the foundation of my life. That goes for my family as well. I am a wife. I am a mother. I'm a sister to my little brother and my older sister. So I'm the middle child. And I am a part of a tribe. On both sides of my family, we're very, very close. On my mother's side and on my father's side, who we lost recently. So God rest his soul, but we're all very close. And also, I'm a transformational youth speaker. I try to be. My whole heart, everything I do is geared to the next generation, even when I'm not trying. So that's who I am.
Good. Now, you said a country Jesus girl. So if you country, all I want to know is, did y'all sweep the floor with a straw broom?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes.
I had to verify that. Now, tell me also, what has been the most exciting part of your journey?
The ups and downs, navigating, like you were saying, the darkness, the light, the seasons. The most exciting thing for me is just the transformation I've seen in myself. As I navigate through just the seasons of life. They're never going to stop. That's one thing I think you learn with maturity, is that the seasons are never going to stop, whether you're on a really, really high low, really, really high, or a very low, they're just going to keep coming. And the best thing that we have to do the best thing I have to do as a Jesus girl, as a mother, as a wife, is navigate through those seasons as best as I can and still stay true to myself, of who I am, still stay professional, and still stay a great mommy and a good wife. And so that's the most exciting part for me, is just understanding that, like, I'm here now and I understand what's going on. Because I think in your 20s and even in your 30s, you're still kind of trying to figure it out. Yeah. And so I'm excited that I know what it's about now. And so now it's just me, proper planning and preparation for my future.
I love it. I think that's a great segue to my next question that I have for you. How has failure helped shape your skills along your journey?
The biggest thing would be in failure to me, I think accountability is huge. When I was younger, I didn't take accountability for the part I played in my failures or failure that I faced. At 18 years old, this is a testimony that I share with young adults and teens when I go into their schools, that I almost lost my life at 18. A guy that I was dating paid a girl to destroy my face, and she hit me with a full champagne bottle. And the irony on Valentine's Day, 17 stitches, 2 black eyes. And after that, and looking at myself in the mirror for weeks of just not healing as I thought I should heal faster, it just was failure over and over and over again, to the point to where it almost consumed me. And then that's just where my family started, coming in and helping me in my faith. And I had to also do a lot of self-evaluation. And the first thing was accountability. Like, what did I do? What red flags did I see that I ignored? What choices did I make that started with a mistake but then became a choice that I was doing consistently over and over again, that led me to that type of relationship, those type of friendships, and then almost losing my life. So I think we get those accountability winks every once in a while from life, but it's up to us if we, pay attention to them and then learn from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very mature to take on that perspective. Are you saying that even at 18, 19, you had that accountability mindset?
I had that accountability mindset in some things, but not in the things that really, let's just say at 18, teen is behind my name. I still was a teenager. Right. So I might have had accountability in not speeding or showing up to work on time. I did those things well. I started the corporate world at 18, and so I really wanted to do well at my job. So that type of accountability, yes. But when it came to relationships, when it came to friendships, I did not have any I did not see the accountability as soon as I should have, or as quick as I do now. At 39, sometimes we let friendships go way too long. Sometimes we let relationships go way too long. Yeah. Yeah.
There is something that's to be said about that. There is a book that I read, I think it's called The Compound Effect, and it talks about how much time you're supposed to spend with every kind of person. There's some people that you can spend 3 months with. Then there's some people that you can only spend 3 weeks with. Of course, you see where this goes. It goes all the way down. And I did this exercise in a training setting, and some people, the audience was like, "No, we need to get down to 3 milliseconds." And so, for the audience, I wonder if you think about the 10 or 15 people that you spend time with socially, and if you had to assign how much time you would want to give to them, would it put things in perspective? And so, good for you eventually seeing that. And I struggle with that too, because sometimes we are fixers, sometimes we want to be there to help. And we can be the collateral damage in the process.
Absolutely, yeah. When you refuse to take accountability in yourself, and you're trying to fix someone else, you're just wasting time. Really wasting time to your passion, to your purpose, to even reaching your full potential. When you are trying to fix something that you just cannot even fix. Self is super important. I don't want to honor self over God or my faith, but I think that a lot of us as adults miss that me time, that quality time with self, that reflection, and that leads to a failure,
Well, I wish I could say that going on this journey that I was able to navigate it by myself, but there was a lot of times that I had a lot of help. And so with that being said, I want to ask you, who has been there for you to provide clarity in your darkest rooms?
I remember, you talked about this before, Jesus. I'm always going to say Jesus. Sometimes I just don't even I don't know if y'all get to a point where you just don't even want the opinions of other people sometimes. You get to a season in your life where you just don't need the extras that come along with telling someone what's going on or telling someone about the valley. And so I think that's the season that I'm in, where I kind of just want to be praying and in my faith, and because that can really, other step of taking it to other people can sometimes complicate things even more. I will say my husband is a big help that I take issues to. He's very, like there's no sugarcoating with him.
Matter of fact.
With anything. So is my mother. She's very matter-of-factly, which I love. I can always go to them if I just want to cut through, the cloud of some things. My family, me and my sister are super close. We talk a lot. And then my children. They see it all, they hear it all. I have a blended family of 5. 1 outside of the house, 4 in the house, and 3 under the age of 10. So really whatever mommy is doing, whether it's a high or a low, they see it, they hear it, even when you try to hide it. So if you want clarity on some issues, or if you are even trying to just navigate bestly through your days when it's highs or lows and you want to talk to somebody about it, I don't use them as a punching bag or even a therapist because they're too young, but sometimes it is very valuable learning lessons for us to bring in the next generation and say, how do you feel about this? How do you feel like mommy is doing this? Or how well is mommy doing this? Or what do I need, to do? And so they provide, they're a big help in that area. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think to that point, I think it's understandable that it's not just 1 or 2 additional people.
Oh, it's a lot of people.
And some people, they're there for a season. Something you said earlier about not wanting to subject yourself to the opinions. I think that I'm discovering this now in my life where there's some people who only like to show up when you're broken. They like to be around.
That might be your next book.
No, I ain't right. I wasn't gonna tell that lie. I'm working on 3 more books, but not that one. Can you stop? You didn't put a new idea in my head. So, but it's I noticed it's like they want to show up in comfort, but it's like who are you comforting? Because if you notice that pattern, some people. It's also another thing that maybe some people like to see you, as long as you're not doing as well as them or better.
They're addicted to the tragedy. Yeah, they're addicted to the negativity. And it's not just you. They come around when other people's lives are like that. I've had people like that that come around in my life like that. I am a big believer of what you're saying. I use the analogy of a train. That everybody, your life is a train. One of a great speaker that I heard use this analogy, and I've always used it, that your life is like a train, and you're going to have all these different stops. And some people are going to take the lifelong ride with you, and then some people just going to get off on stops, and you can't fret or, waste any time. Sometimes there's some mourning. There might be a small mourning period of a really good friendship that you just had to break and let go. But when you have people that are addicted to your tragedy and they're not championing you, those are people that I just don't have time for, to be quite honest, to be in my life. I just don't. And some people might say, oh, Saran, you just want to be happy all the time. I really do. I really do. Yeah. I used to be like, well, no, I don't care about being happy all the time, or, I can face some problem. Nope, I just want to be happy all the time. Because the tragedy is going to come. It's going to come. The valleys are going to come, but my desire is to be happy all the time. And when you let people in your life that are not happy, hurt people, and they have no problem destroying your energy or your life to elevate themselves to the next level.
Yeah, you're right. Now, Saran, I like your train analogy. One part that I would add, you didn't say this, I am. Some of those friends, you want to kick off the train. You said some people will be on there for lifelong. Here's the worst combination. The ones that intend to be there lifelong and they're not healthy for you. Those friends who can be like that. Knowing how to create those kind of boundaries and just knowing how they impact you mentally, emotionally, psychologically when you're around them, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
My next question to you is, this really kind of correlates with the surrounding people. Why do you think people have such a hard time maximizing their potential?
I'm gonna speak for myself in a moment, and then just people that I know. I had a hard time maximizing my potential when I felt like I was stuck in a box. I'm a natural creative. that part of my life has exploded in 2024, in 2023, and in 2024, where the Lord just saying this and I say yes, or someone's asking me to do this and I say yes, cut this watermelon and I cut it. You know, I'm never going to just cut a watermelon to a certain, neither is my mom. She's a natural creative. And I'm using that as an example of like cutting a watermelon as like, think of a watermelon as like your job that you go to every day, and someone's telling you to cut this job, but you know you can do it beautifully, but they just telling you to cut it in one piece. That is, I feel like that is a huge part of why I wasn't moving forward in my potential. I wasn't maximizing my potential because I wasn't using my gifts. Right. I feel like a lot of us don't even know what we're naturally gifted at. And all of us are extremely gifted and have multiple gifts. There's people that, there's this guy I used to work with, and on the conference calls, he would just be sketching and drawing, and people would look over his shoulder and be, did you just draw that? Like while we're on the conference call? And it's like he's stuck in this cubicle in this 9 to 5 pounding away, and he's an artist. You know, people don't reach their full potential, to me, in life when they don't even explore the things they are naturally gifted at. They don't even have to try. They don't need a degree. They don't have to go to school. They just can sing. They just can write. You know, like why am I a writer and I'm paying you to write what's on my website? Why am I an artist and I'm not trying to design my own logo? So that's a whole nother thing. Like even when we do branch out and we become entrepreneurs, are you maximizing your potential as an entrepreneur by using your gifts? Apply them, learn them, master them. Can you imagine, like, I mean, even our children, this is what I go into the schools and speak with the elementary kids about, is that every single one of them has a gift. Every single one of them is a hero. Not Batman, not Superman, they're the heroes. Each one of them have a unique gift that they already are naturally good at. And can you imagine as us as parents, mentors, teachers, if we were horning in on those gifts? Can you imagine the community we have if all these little kids were operating in their natural gifts? If we were all operating our natural gifts? Some people are in hospitality that should not be in hospitality.
Right.
You know, like, why are you here, sir? Like, why are you a customer service? You're like, why are you here? You know, like, so that's what I feel. I feel like people are there at their jobs for the money, and it's paying the bills, and I get it, and no judgment, but they're not going to ever reach their full potential if they don't even know what they're naturally gifted at.
Well said, well said. Well, now I'm thinking about this. Tell me about a time where you actually did help inspire somebody on their professional journey, and then as you think about it, what was the most challenging part of that process?
Oh, my sister. I should right off the top of my sister. My sister, Dr. Terry Armstrong, formerly Terry Armstrong. She was at a 9 to 5 job. Me and her both were in real estate. We were both in real estate, and she had a leadership position with no title. She was doing all of the work and never got credit for it. She was doing all the work of her manager. Sorry, if y'all watching, this is the truth. But she was doing all the work of her manager and just.
Not really sorry.
Yeah, not really. But it was getting no credit, you know. And so she just was miserable. Yeah. She just was miserable. And Tueri is such a people person, you know. To put her in that cubicle, no shade to the cubicle corporate, you know, life, but to put her into that cubicle every day and tell her this is your assignment, you can't go any further. Hit these numbers. This is your quota, and she's knocking it out the park. You know, like this is easy to her. You know, and so when I became a realtor 2 years later, I was like, Tueri, you should be a realtor. I'm a talker. That's how I made money in real estate. She's a people person. Like if you're a realtor,
she's a talker too.
She is, but she like people. I like people too, but Tueri, you know, everybody's dream matter. That's her. Yeah. Your dream matter. You know, she is going to find you a house. She is going to help your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother.
And your dog.
And your dog. She is passionate about it. So I was like, you should be a realtor. And so she got her real estate license. Now she's a broker. Like her life is exploding with real estate. And she just took her God-given gifts and applied that into real estate. And then now she's just going. The thing that was the hardest to get her to move from that job was the fear of her not having that 9 to 5 paycheck, that every 2-week paycheck being deposited in her bank account. She's a mother, you know, she's a wife, and so that fear is kind of crippling sometimes, where you're like, well, what if I don't, you know, make it? What if I don't sell a house? What if I don't, you know, what if my job doesn't work out? And she just had, proper preparation. I encourage any person who is trying to branch out and reach their potential by doing something different, go to the experts. Mm-hmm. I think that's in your book, that you surround yourself with people who know your business. Know your business. You surround yourself with people who know your business well.
Thank you for sharing that feedback. So what I'm hearing in your answer about your sister being the person you inspired, what I'm hearing is you deserve some royalties.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, she's my personal shopper. I'll never get to go to the mall, so she go out. She buy me clothes when she get clothes, so we good. She don't owe me anything.
I think she owe you a little bit more because I know she's doing well.
She is doing very well.
Yeah. Okay.
She's doing very well.
Well, thank you for sharing that. What I want to ask you now is more about you. In the last 12 months, what would you say has been the most fulfilling experience that you've had?
Just being able to go into the schools, speaking with the children. I may not change the world. Who is it? Tupac said that? I may not change the world, but I might impact one life that does, and I really take that very seriously. I love the fact that there was a season for it, because when I was trying to go into the schools, I just kept getting the no, but that wasn't a season. I wasn't prepared, or maybe I wasn't ready. It wasn't like I didn't have anything to say or they couldn't learn from my experiences, but maybe I just wasn't ready as a woman or as a teacher, as a mentor, to go in at that time. So everything is in God's timing, I really do believe. And so the most fulfilling thing is just like after speaking to them, like hugs and Miss Saran, I'm following you on Instagram. I'm like, okay, so it's just
How old are these
amazing.
kids?
Middle school, high school, and then elementary. Okay. Yeah.
I sound like an old man because I'm like, how do they have social media?
Oh, a lot of elementary kids have social media and cell phones on campus.
I'm out of touch. Okay. So walk me through the level of excitement on their faces. Are they getting it when you're talking? Is the light bulb going off for them?
They do. I think a big part of why they get it from me is because of a testimony. I always tell a story. Some stories I cannot tell to an elementary group that I could tell to a high school group. But if you are a speaker or you're going into the schools, a testimony is mind-blowing to them. They want to feel like they can relate to you. So when I'm talking about getting hit with bottles and clubs and turning up and, dating this person or, drugs or alcohol, smoking weed, they, not saying that all kids do that, but a lot of our kids in a lot of the areas that I go in, their parents or their uncles or aunts, or they might experience, weed smoking every single day or every single weekend. And then they have whole red ribbon weeks about how not to do drugs, but they're actually going into the homes and their parents and their, and their family members are actually, smoking in front of them. And so they're like, Mr. Rand, what can I do? How can I navigate from that? And with high school, I speak to them, middle school and high school, about their choices. The first time you make a mistake, it's a mistake. But when you consistently make the same mistake over and over again, now it's become a choice. You're choosing to make this mistake over. This is a choice. And I want them to understand that they have the choice to choose. In this world with Instagram, social media, all these built-in algorithms are choosing for them. And I really do feel like the next generation, their choice is a dying thing. They're not choosing their music. They're being told, hey, you should like this music because this person has bought $1 billion worth of ads, and so now they're funneling this music to their timeline. Or you should not be friends with this person, or you should bully this person, or this is the type of drugs that you can do because this is cool right now, or you can choke yourself out on TikTok. These are the choices that they are making instead of, who should I be friends with? Do I like this little girl? Do y'all remember them choices? Do you like me? X or no? Right?
Those
our
are
choices. Right. The kids, the choices that they're facing now is, do I do drugs with one of my family members? Do I skip school to go load groceries at Sam's so I can eat? Right. That's their choices. And so it's been very fulfilling for me to be able to go and be trusted by their parents and be trusted by the school administrators that let me in and speak to these kids in these type of programs that they're building for mentors and speakers to go in.
Wow. Well, Saran, That's very powerful. I thank you for taking the time out to share. You know, we got to stay in touch with you.
I do.
You're up here transforming kids, and there's a lot of, I'm not going to say it, well, I'm going to say it once, but I'm going to do a nicer one. There's a lot of bad kids. And we need you to save and correct all of them.
There's no bad kids, just hurt hearts.
I knew you was going to do that. That's why I gave the, there are some untrained, unsaraned kids. How about that? There's some unsaraned kids. And I need, matter of fact, after this taping, I need you to go out and help correct that.
I will. I
so
will. Y'all call me.
With that being said, can you tell our audience how to get in touch with you?
Yes, please hit me up on Instagram. It's Saran T. Sanchez, Facebook, all the social media platforms. I'm there. My email is bookingsaransanchez@gmail.com. And you can also hit up the business therapy group because they're going to take me to my next level. So I'm excited to be working with them. And I hope to talk to everybody soon.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Another amazing recording with our guest, Saran Sanchez. I hope that you were listening. Sure, I made a few jokes because I'm sarcastic and I use satire, but in the midst of all that, I hope you were listening because those youth won't be youth, they'll be adults. And there's a lot of adults who have made choices and some of them are not alive to recover from them. Some of them are incarcerated. Some of them are in situations where they're causing harm to others. And so it's not just an innocent decision. It is because of people like this that a change will be made. So I hope you get in contact with Saran and work with her soon. Thank you again for tuning in to the Business Therapy Show. We'll talk to you soon.